we'll leave the details of what he did out, but let's just say it'd be easy to go in there and just lose your shit on him, which I've done. Let's just get that out there. I've been down that path because I'm as flawed as the next person, and that's not the way that you should be. But I went in there having not seen him for a really long time, having interacted with the school way less frequently than his mom does because they live so close and she is the primary caregiver, and going to meet people that I had never talked with about my kid. And I just sat there and I listened to what they said, and I was able to advocate for Riley and based off what he had told me. And then I was able to go leave that situation and actually have a conversation that was not emotional, that was based in logic, objectivity, and talk about decision-making and consequences and thinking about things into the future beyond the moment that you are just in. And he was asking questions about that and listening and, making eye. And so we actually had a very adult interaction. And I would like to, again, I'm like, okay, I took Monday. I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, this is a win. I hadn't seen the kid. He didn't really want to be around me because he was uncomfortable, but we get through it. And I think our relationship is better because of it. So I'm going to take that as a win. For Tyler and Julia, any win that I think, or parenting done right for me, it's going to all be something very similar to that, where I was able to recognize at a deep level what was going on, see beyond myself, and realize it's about me trying to make somebody else, not make somebody else better, but create an environment where they can make themselves better because I can't do it for them. And then, it's rough. Like you got, a school resource officer and an assistant principal. They have one version, and then there's the other version, and of course there's 3 versions of every story: them, and then in the middle, which is likely where the truth is kind of at. And that's that. I was happy with that day for sure.
Would you say then? I would guess then the times you felt like you blew it. Would it be the times where you did get emotional, where you did explode, where you?
That one I can tell you the lesson I learned with Julia early on, and that is that female kids are way more responsive to the tone of their voice of their dad than the boys are. I don't think my boys can hear me when I yell. In their head, they're just like birds everywhere, like pow, 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 pow. And I remember one time we were in San Diego. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I remember I was like stressed out about something or just tired or whatever BS that I brought to the equation, which generally more than I should. And it was an interaction with her, and I was getting frustrated. I probably had repeated, not that you guys have ever experienced this, but don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put that down. And I watched her wilt as my tone of voice got too high. And in that moment, I was like, I'm never doing that again. And it was something that I had to become conscious of because I don't know if it was she got scared or which is the last thing I want her to feel is ever fear towards me because I want to give her an example of what a man should be like. And in that moment, I realized I was like, oh, I just completely and utterly blew this and just addressed it with her on the spot, explained to her like, listen, I should not have had that outburst. I'm sorry. That is my fault. That's not your fault. And I'm going to do everything I can to never let that happen again. But that one sticks out for sure because it was so visual. Whereas, like I said, the boys are just like, eat dicks, Dad.